Hello, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural J&B Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Puglisi, and I'm here with my co-host, Brian Smith.
How you doing, everybody?
We're going to be reviewing Night of Champions 2015, which took place last night. First match we had on the card was the IC match between Ryback and Kevin Owens.
So, this match I thought was pretty good. It's the first match in a feud, so you can't really go crazy all out. So I thought it was a perfect amount of time, it was around 10 minutes or so. And there was a lot of good spots in it for these, because it's kind of a bruiser type match with two big guys in there. Of course, Kevin Owens is awesome and gets a lot out of Ryback. One of the noteworthy spots was when Ryback picked him up and gorilla pressed him outside the ring. And also pulling out yet another new move with some wacky Russian leg sweep, which he seems to do in pretty much every single match that he's in.
Was that Kevin Owens?
Yes.
Who did that? Yeah, Kevin
Did
Owens.
I say
did
Ryback?
that.
No.
Yeah. And so end up the finish of the match was Ryback goes for the shell shock, but Owens counters with an eye rake, or kind of like it might have looked like a nose grab or something. He was clawing at the face, and he ends up sliding off of Ryback's shoulders and wins with the schoolboy. So Kevin Owens is your new Intercontinental Champion.
Why not put it on Owens?
Yeah, that's his Kevin Owens' first title.
Yes, it is.
And so good for
Well
him.
deserved. And this was kind of dumb. They were talking about some sort of controversy afterwards. There's no controversy. There was no shenanigans with the ref. He didn't nutshot him. He maybe raked his eyes. It's questionable that he even did that.
That's illegal. Is it legal?
It's the referee wouldn't DQ him the first time he sees that. He would
Right. Oh, he'd give him a count.
He would push him away or something.
He'd give him a count. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a clean victory for Owens is what what happened here, which is fine. They'll probably have another match, which is good. Although I fully wouldn't expect Ryback to get it back at any point in the future. I think Kevin Owens can have a decent reign with it. Probably feud with some younger guys, maybe some people from NXT even. Who knows? So yeah.
All right, and in between to the next match, the announcers were talking about Brock and Taker, how they were announced for Hell in a Cell.
Well, there was a video package that they aired about a bunch of Brock Lesnar stuff going on in the next month in what's going to be called the Brock Lesnar Go to Hell Tour, which will start at the MSG show, which of course they put him against Big Show, because why not? And then,
wasn't it originally Bo Dallas?
No, because he killed Bo Dallas on Raw, people thought that, but no, it's Big Show. Big Show's got nothing going on, so we'll just throw Big Show in there. Why not?
That would have been great if it was Bo Dallas.
Yeah, Bo Dallas would have been so much more fun. Whatever. I don't know what else is happening on that show. I've heard that they would do
I saw a card earlier, but I can't exactly remember. Jericho is facing a new NXT, like an NXT
Finn
guy.
Balor?
No, I think it was Kevin Owens or someone who recently
Jericho?
came up, like Neville.
He already faced Neville.
Yes, well, I know, like as in like a new NXT guy who recently came up. So I think it was Kevin Owens that he's facing.
Maybe.
And I can't remember
That could not be happening anymore though after what happened tonight with Jericho, but we'll see.
Right.
And yeah, they kind of just nonchalantly announced that it was going to be that the main event of Hell in a Cell was going to be Brock vs. Taker. I almost completely skipped by us while we were watching it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's your Hell in a Cell main event. That'll probably be the only Hell in a Cell on the show, I would think, unless maybe Seth Rollins and Kane would be Hell in a Cell, but I can't really see that because it's the first match of their feud. But whatever, we got a Hell in a Cell match that actually deserves to be a Hell in a Cell match.
I could be a Hell in a Cell match, Seth Rollins versus Kane.
I suppose. Or Ryback versus Kevin Owens, Hell in a Cell. New Day versus Dudley's tables match inside Hell in a Cell.
That would be amazing.
They would lock Xavier and
they'd lock him out.
They'd lock him out, but then he would find a way to get in somehow. That would be how they would.
He'd jiggle the jiggle the lock with his trombone.
That'd be too awesome. They wouldn't do it. Anyway, move on.
All right, so the next match we had was Rusev versus Ziggler, and so Ziggler enters with his awful attire.
Well, it's our opinion. I mean, some people like it. I'm not a fan of tights on wrestlers.
Yeah,
that's just me.
I mean, I beg to differ, but
they look good on Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, but
in the 90s.
But it doesn't.
Bret Michaels, a combination of Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, with a picture of which I later found out may not have been Lana. It may have been either Lana or Summer Rae. It was a blonde girl's face. But it's not clear which one it was, what actually blonde girl it was.
I thought it was Lana. I
didn't get a good look at it. It was a blonde girl.
Yeah. Either way, that's weird. It doesn't matter.
You noted attire in general is bad! Exclamation point.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Um.
He needs to make up his mind. He keeps switching around.
Yeah, he's doing his weird like, I'm punk and wearing some like denim and stuff. Like it's a real mess. His attire is really bad. He needs to go back to just wearing some trunks that say like Ziggler on the back or show off or whatever.
I mean, if he's going to be going heel, then the tights work, I guess, for that. But whatever. And you pointed Rusev was a babyface, which is true. He needs to turn soon.
But it doesn't really matter because the crowd's gonna like chant for Ziggler regardless. And
yeah,
like Rusev has been the face through this whole storyline, and yet he gets
he's
booed.
the one that's getting screwed over on all the occasions, all occurrences that's been happening.
Yeah, it's all been
Make him
bad.
Look like an idiot.
It's been bad news for Rusev. He's been the total babyface, and Ziggler's really been a bit of a jerk. And even Summer Rae, even on the babyface side, has been pretty heelish with her.
Well, she is a heel.
Yeah,
Lana is the one that's the face. But then you just make out and right in front of him. Like that, yeah, that's definitely heel tactics.
Yeah.
Rusev did that once in a backstage segment, but that doesn't really count. That's not the same as in real life. That wouldn't be the same as if a girl did that in front of a guy. You know how that works. Anyway, Rusev he did take a ridiculous DDT from Dolph, in which he planted himself and then just stood there in the air for a few seconds before falling down.
Yeah, Rusev was completely upside down vertical.
There was a lot of wacky stuff going on in this match. There was some other stuff that I don't remember, but I didn't take note of. But
Rusev ended up being vertical for probably about 3 to 4 seconds, just kind of standing on his head before he just slumped over.
That DDT is awesome. That should be his finish.
It could be.
Zigzag is okay, but Zigzag is perfect for a heel because you can hit it right from behind. You prepared for a lot of distraction wins with a finisher like that.
I mean, he started as a heel, so it made a lot of sense. It was a heel finisher.
Anyway, somehow,
Summer Rae ended up getting launched into the ring.
I've never seen a spot like that.
Yeah, it was original. Where Summer Rae ends up getting on the apron for some sort of ref distraction, and Rusev throws Ziggler into the ropes, and
it somehow caused the bottom 2 ropes to push in, which caused her to go flying over the top ropes and take a beetle into the ring.
Yeah,
which the referee determined that it was that she needed to be ejected for this,
right?
And then just got super pissed, took off her shoes, and threw one up the ramp.
It was up the ramp.
Just chucked it. Then she went to throw one at the ref, but Rusev right in the face, and then zigzag in. There's your winner, Dolph Ziggler, who finally got a win, probably his biggest singles victory as a babyface.
Yeah, in a while.
I think it is. Maybe besides...
No, because as a heel, he beat Cena at TLC. Was that 12?
That was also because of a girl.
Yes, it was.
He hasn't gotten a clean one-on-one big victory his entire career, I think. I think maybe he got a win over Daniel Bryan, but that really count?
That was like Daniel Bryan in 2011.
Well, he got a win over him on Raw, I think.
If you're talking about the bragging rights match, wasn't it?
The match on Raw when Dean Ambrose was the referee. Remember we wanted to vote for Luke Harper to be the referee?
Oh, God, yeah.
Luke Harper totally should have reffed that match. But
yeah,
anyway,
that would have been great.
So Dolph Ziggler wins. He kissed Summer Rae's hand after the match. And I would assume that they're going to end up together. They got to put Lana and Rusev back together. It's just what needs to happen. The crowd will pop big for that. They like Ziggler, but like if Lana goes back to Rusev and Rusev's like the conquering hero, then they'll go get behind it, and then they can have another babyface, or not another, but a babyface run together, which would be good. And Ziggler needs to go heel. He just does. He just isn't working for me.
And the next match on the card was New Day versus the Dudleys, and I believe it was the New Day entered first and cut a promo as per usual. They ended up
Xavier's hair.
Oh, the hair.
The hair.
It was matching his attire.
There was. I saw that it was a take on somebody from a movie. I think it was. I'm trying to remember what it was. He's like a comic book.
Yeah, he could have easily been.
It could have been some. It was from something. It was a character in a movie. I just don't remember what it was.
Deadpool.
What it was called. Maybe.
That's the only comic book character that wears red and black that I know besides Spider-Man, and he's not Spider-Man.
Well, it was just his hair. It wasn't anything else. It was just that has those red things in his hair. That was really cool, though. It was fun. It was unique. I've never seen a wrestler wear something. Anybody wear something like that, for that matter. I don't know if that's permanent or not. If it is, he's gonna have a lot on his plate.
Yeah.
But anyway, what happened here?
So they cut their promo, and then
What did they do? They did something funny.
they were singing a song.
Oh, they were they were ripping off something.
Yeah, I can't remember what they were doing.
I don't remember. God damn it. Whatever.
It was funny though.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Whatever they did, it was hilarious.
And
they did the State Farm.
Oh yeah, right.
They ripped off like they did like a good
table.
Something.
New Day is here.
New Day is here. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was funny though.
Like a good table. New Day is here.
And anyway, this match was kind of a nothing match though. Outside of the New Day stomping on whoever it was in the corner.
I think it was Bubba. They're stomping on Bubba Ray in the corner.
And of course and Xavier playing the trombone. He even pulled out the Rocky theme for parts of this, which I wish he would have done for a longer period of time because it was hilarious.
There's also that vicious Big E apron splash.
Oh my god, he nearly broke his neck.
Bubba Ray bent like almost 90 degrees backwards. And that looked crazy. And Big E ended up like landing on his head too.
I don't know about
crazy.
I don't know about the splash. He might have to get rid of it from his moveset after nearly killing the man tonight. But anyway.
Or last night.
Dudley's ended up hitting a 3D on Kofi, and Xavier came in, kicked the whoever it was in the head for the DQ. So yeah, it wasn't really much of a match. The New Day are so awesome though that they can make anything entertaining, even if it's like just a standard tag team match that's not even really a pay-per-view quality match. It still will be fun to watch. So
then. After the New Day celebration, they
lost
and their Save the Tables campaign, they end up going underneath the ring as any true heel would and pull out a table.
Massive hypocrites. Yep. This is the perfect way of getting heel heat on yourself, is being the biggest hypocrite you can. Like Curtis Axel did this once. It was hilarious. He came out. 10 people caught this, but because people don't really care about Curtis Axel. But he's like told Damian Sandow that like the one thing I hate most is people who are insecure and have to live in the shadow of others and don't know who they truly are. Meanwhile, he's completely imitating Hulk Hogan for the last 3 months.
Yeah,
and he's making fun of him for like being the Miz's stunt double. And like 10 people caught it and laughed in the crowd, but it didn't. It should have been over way more. But it was hilarious. Being a massive hypocrite is the great way to be a heel. And the New Day were here going for tables after all they had said about saving tables, putting them through.
Broken wood is no good.
Broken wood is no good. Hashtag save the tables.
Hashtag booty.
The booty thing is I guess it's because Big E has quite a,
quite the gluteus.
Less said about that, the better. Anyway, Xavier was like a complete idiot here because the Dudleys turned the tables on him. Literally, and took out Kofi and Big E. So Xavier's standing there celebrating like they had done something, and he turns around right into a 3D through a table. So this would probably lead to a tables match. I almost would rather have it be a handicap tables match.
That would be interesting.
Because Xavier's gonna be able to just jump in there anyway.
No, you're right, because there's no DQ. So
and it wouldn't be a super advantage because then they would have more potential people to go through the table, right? So yeah. Like I think it'd be 3-on-2 handicap. You're gonna have a 3-on-2 handicap table match in the next show. Hopefully, this all leads to a TLC match at TLC, which would make perfect sense. Anyway, so
moving on to the next match. It was the Divas match between Charlotte and Nikki Bella.
Good video package for it too.
Yeah, last week on Raw, Nikki Bella defended her title against Charlotte. If she won, she would become the longest reigning Divas champion in history. And if she lost, it would be Charlotte's first WWE Divas title reign.
Mm-hmm.
And it had the hokey finish where Brie Bella got rolled up by... was it roll up? It was a roll up? Yeah. Brie Bella got rolled up by Charlotte.
Thought she'd won, but she didn't actually pin the person in the match. And then Ric Flair came out all crying.
Yep.
And it was just a dusty finish.
Yep. It was a true dusty finish.
But yeah.
So then, in here, early in the match, Charlotte hurt her ankle. Whether it was a work or not, Nikki Bella ended up working her ankle for the rest of the match.
Yeah,
There's like
a lot of cool suplexes into the ropes.
There's
3 or 4.
There's probably about 5 to 6 minutes straight that she worked the ankle. It was all offense by
People
Nikki
don't want
Bella.
to say it, but Nikki Bella is pretty good in the ring. she's much more experienced than Charlotte is. That's for sure. Charlotte's still pretty
Kind of
green.
clumsy.
Yeah, she's just super athletic, super flexible and stuff. What was the move that she had her in that she was like killing her with? The submission.
The figure eight.
No, Nikki had Charlotte in some kind of submission.
Oh, it was like a single leg crab.
Single leg crab where she completely bent herself back on.
Right, and so
of course they had to show Team Bad watching in the back because everyone must be involved in every segment. They split up is coming. We'll get to that in a second. Just go ahead.
So then Nikki goes up to the top rope for a diving forearm attempt as opposed to just her usual forearm. You know, she cocks the forearm in her usual terrible manner. She just kind of like holds it up and and slowly moved her arm around. She then dove off and Charlotte caught her with the spear in midair. Cool. It's kind of it was a little sloppy, but what do you expect?
That's the difficult spot to pull off, catching somebody in midair with a spear off the second rope.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
Without her foot actually hitting the floor, that's pretty tough.
Yeah. And so then Charlotte then applies the figure eight, and Nikki, after about 10 to 15 seconds.
This was kind of a quick finish here.
Yep.
It was Charlotte barely did anything, and then hit the spear and just put her in a figure eight, and she tapped out, and that was it. We didn't mention that she was actually being smart and telling Brie and Alicia on the outside not to get involved because she would lose her title. That could have played more into the finish, but it is what it is. And then Ric Flair waltzes his way out there, and no matter what it is, he's always going to cry about his daughter and get really emotional.
There's that great backstage segment where Charlotte or his team PCB, they're all together, and Ric Flair comes over to talk to Charlotte about how proud of her he is, and he's talking with the Paige and Becky, and they have no clue what he's saying.
That's good though, but maybe that could be more teasing of the breakup here because they're tired of their crap, you know.
It's just so funny because Ric Flair's like rambling.
Ric Flair's also about 42 years older than Paige probably, maybe more.
And Becky and Paige are just kind of like, I'm gonna leave. And they just kind of walk away, and Charlotte's like eating it up, being able to hang out with her dad, who's an absolute legend. But anyways,
the title reign was clearly in spite of AJ because they took it off her the first chance right after she broke the reign, which I don't even think they should have done here. To be perfectly honest, I would have much rather have seen Nikki retain because of Paige turning on Charlotte. I think that is what because this kind of just wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, then that means that Paige and Charlotte have to go and do a program together, not for the belt. Now Paige can turn on her.
I guess they could do a three-way feud now, because Nikki would need a rematch. But I can't see them phasing the Bella Twins completely out of this.
All right.
In any in
we'll
the
see
end, what they do tonight.
In the end, Nikki Bella's reign ends at 301 days.
Oh boy.
And so the next match was the Wyatt family versus Roman, Dean, and their mystery partner.
The fan that jumped in the ring was their mystery partner.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the fourth incident now.
Of recent time,
incident of a fan coming in and going after someone from the Shield.
Wasn't it last week's Raw that jumped and walked with Seth?
Someone jumped in and walked with Seth. There was the guy who threw the briefcase at Roman. There was the guy that supposedly tried to stab Ambrose. That was all just a bunch of BS, but he actually he came after Ambrose. He didn't have a knife on him, which is what the rumor was. But still, this is now the fourth case of somebody coming after Shield members. Is this a coincidence?
Well, that guy, I mean, he jumped in and he was just living up his moment.
He looked like he was decked out in Shield gear too.
No, he was. Yeah, he planned this out. He dressed up.
He was wearing the vest. He was wearing camo pants. He had a shaved head. He looked like he belonged in a wrestling ring. Maybe not with these two guys, but you know.
Right, and so after the security kind of ended up grabbing him and pulling him out of the ring.
I like how the wrestlers don't even seem bothered by the fact
Dean chuckled a little bit.
They find it funny. But it was like last week, Cena was getting super pissed. He was yelling up to the security to get rid of the guy. He managed to follow Rollins all the way down to the ring from the top of the stage. before somebody actually noticed he was there and ran and grabbed him. That was last week, and this is this week. So their partner.
After he was successfully removed from the premises, Jericho's music hit, and to a huge ovation of the crowd. The crowd loved it.
The countdown returns.
Yeah. And then Lillian came on the mic and announced that Jericho was their announced partner, tag team partner. And then we got into the match. And who started? Who started?
I have no idea.
I thought it was Jericho.
This was a basic 6-man match that you would see on Raw.
Right.
For the most part, until the finish was pretty cool though.
And but once Braun got in the ring,
everything changed.
He dominated
because he's being booked like Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know if it's a good idea because I don't think I can't see him
with his lovable Eugene face.
I can't see him being a top guy. Like he could easily be fit. He fits this role well, but he doesn't fit a monster heel by himself role. I don't know if he probably won't ever get to that status, but they really shouldn't be booking him like Brock Lesnar. I mean, Dean it took Roman and Dean 2 Superman punches and a diving elbow from the top to get him off his feet. He threw them around like rag dolls. And this is the guy who main evented WrestleMania and other guy who feuded with for the title for the last few months. So I don't know about that. You also spelt Braun wrong.
Well, I did. How does he spell his name?
Braun.
Oh, all right. I forgot.
And apparently it is Strowman. It was originally Stowman, and then they changed it to Strowman after actually giving him a name.
So this is after Braun successfully bored me to tears.
Somehow I don't even remember. Somehow Luke and Dean were taken out of the picture, or Luke and Bray rather, and I guess Dean too because he wasn't in the ring either. But it was just Roman and Braun, and then Roman speared Braun. And then was in the corner, probably about to hit another one and go for the pin. But Jericho, that sly little guy, went for the typical blind tag and ran in there like a house of fire, but ultimately got caught of the code breaker, got hit with that wacky sideways, whatever it is. It kind of looks like a big ending, and picked him up in that choke. That's pretty bad. That choke.
It's pretty sloppily applied, yeah. But I missed the ending of this match because Braun Strowman successfully bored me enough that I went to go get food at the gas station down the road, and I came back shortly after the match ended. Yeah,
but he picked him up. He picked him up, and it's weird this finish because Jericho would have tapped to him, like he's always willing to put guys over, but they instead went with a pass out finish. Which was kind of weird because Jericho's exactly the kind of guy you would want to tap out to somebody. But still, Braun Strowman made Jericho pass out, so good for him.
Well, I mean, his submission finisher is all about making people pass out. No one's tapped. Haven't they all passed out?
Well, he hasn't wrestled anyone yet.
Right. Was that technically
Jericho
his first match?
Jericho didn't. He had the match against Dean, but it was a DQ.
Right.
Yeah. Got to the post match. You didn't even see what happened.
Nope,
either.
not true.
The Wyatts, celebrated their win. They not really. They just kind of walked away, and then I think Jericho walked in, or Roman came in and kind of looked at Jericho like, "What the hell, man?" And then Dean also came in, and they were both staring down Jericho like he'd done them wrong, which he did. And then Jericho kind of shoved Ambrose aside and just walked to the back with a sly look on his face. So I don't know what this is leading to. Intrigue. It's intriguing. I'll say that. I think I don't know if turning Jericho heel is the way to go. I would rather have Roman turn heel, but we'll see.
I don't think it's really necessary for any of those guys to even feud. I mean, Jericho is just kind of one-offing. Like that's what he does. He's gonna one-off at the MSMG show.
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't
or
do
MSG.
They wouldn't do what they did with him to like if it was just his only. If he's not.
No, you're right. Raw. You're right. I just think that it's not necessary. WWE didn't need to program it.
Jericho won't be here past like Survivor Series.
No, he never is.
Yeah. Maybe he'll be in the Royal Rumble. Who knows?
All right. Know. So the next match on the card, John Cena versus Seth Rollins, and for the rest of the night, it's pretty much the Seth Rollins hour. This started at about 10 o'clock, and the last hour is all Seth Rollins. And so this is for the U.S. title. What do you guys say about?
This was every John Cena match I've seen this year, pretty much. He did all of his normal spots. Of course, it's good, but just kind of tired of seeing the same John. I mean, yeah, no, I guess it's anyway because John Cena really is having the best year of his career, and as far as an in-ring standpoint is concerned, he's having the best matches he's ever had. That's for sure. They're just starting to get kind of repetitive with all the same spots. But the finish to this was actually interesting because there was no false finishes, none of that. He just hit a reverse suplex. He hit
An AA.
he hit a reverse. Well, then he hit the diving famouser, and then he hit the AA and pinned him, and that was it.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked when I saw him like not be able to kick out of one AA, but then when I like played it over in my head, he did hit like a combination of moves from inverted suplex into diving leg drop into AA all in succession. Yeah. So it's a bit reasonable, but it's still kind of like, oh, what the heck.
It's what Cena should do to win. It makes sense. If you're trying to win the match, you would go for your finisher at the right time, and he did. He didn't mess around with it, and yeah, that's it. And
I mean, it was a good match. It was probably the best wrestled match on the night.
Oh yeah, not even close.
But like we've seen it before.
Yeah,
we've seen John Cena and Seth Rollins face off before, and it was exactly like the
It was a lot like the SummerSlam match. A lot of the same stuff. Although they also teased some of the same stuff, like the frog splash and the Seth Rollins doing the AA.
Oh, right.
That didn't end up happening. They did counters off. They're playing off their last match, which is always good.
So Cena celebrates winning the U.S. title, and he goes to walk out without his belt because he's a dummy. And he forgot his belt. And so Seth Rollins starts walking behind him too because he's gonna leave. And John Cena is like, "What the heck are you doing? You don't get to go backstage. You got a match. Stay out here." And Seth, he just wanted like a 5-minute breather. That's all he's asking for.
Yeah.
And go back out, maybe get to redo his entrance again. Yeah, get some primetime TV, But John Cena is like, "No, you're staying out here." Picks him up and A's him right on the floor. Like,
what a jerk this John Cena is.
Yeah.
He's got to wrestle another match. He just wrestled you for like 20 minutes. He's just picking him up, giving him an AA right on the floor, and throw him back in the ring. So at this point, Seth Rollins is just dead in the ring while Sting comes out. Seth Rollins was a complete babyface on this show.
We're like right there. In that segment of time, he was a total babyface.
He was for the whole... I mean, he didn't do any outlandish heel stuff in either match.
No, I guess. But it's hard to not be... or it's hard to be a babyface when you're facing Cena and Sting, especially Sting.
Yeah.
And so that moves right into as you say, he's pretty much dead in the ring, and Sting comes out. Seth collects himself for the match.
Well, because Sting did a super long entrance.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter if Seth Rollins was dead or not. He was gonna make that. He was gonna make his slow, dramatic entrance.
Right. So their match begins, and it's a bunch of slow wrestling holds and stuff. That's what you're gonna do with Sting. But eventually, they end up getting outside of the ring and going towards the announce tables.
They were both on.
Yeah, and they both get on top. I must have been zoning out or doing something because I don't recall them getting over there, but I recall them. I absolutely remember them being on it. And he ends up like...
He pushed him.
Yeah.
He pushed him off. I don't even know if they were going for a move or something, but Seth
he
just basically shoved him off.
He just pushed him pretty
through
much.
The table. They didn't even take the monitors or anything off. He just went right through it. He could have nearly killed himself.
Yeah, 56-year-old Sting
and
or whatever.
And he nearly did kill himself by the end of the match, which we'll get to.
But nearly 56-year-old, or he is 56. Going through the table it was rough. He looked like he was in a lot of pain after it. It looked like it hurt. And and then that insult to injury, Seth ends up scoop slamming him on the table debris.
Yeah, that was good.
Seth
seems to walk out.
Yeah, if Sting wasn't hurt enough, he was definitely hurt there.
Seth, this was not a babyface thing. He was like going like, "Oh, I'll just win by count." Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna beat this man. That was also a babyface thing that he did.
Right, instead of just taking the win on count out.
Yeah.
And retaining his belt.
Yeah, why not? But ultimately, it led to him getting. Another crazy Sting move, hit a diving crossbody. I use the word diving lightly. He didn't exactly dive.
It's kind of like,
kind of just fell.
yeah, fell off the top
dropped
rope.
Off the ropes.
Yeah, he dropped.
But he hit him hard, right on the floor. So Seth is a warrior for all the crazy bumps he took tonight.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Owens at Takeover, but close.
Yeah. And so then this is where after the diving crossbody, they get back in the rings, exchange a little bit, and Sting ends up taking a turnbuckle bomb.
He took 2 of them.
Yeah, this would be his second, right?
Yeah.
Took his second turnbuckle bomb, and you can tell he knocks the wind out of Sting. It appeared, and he kind of looked like he was gonna throw up or something, or he was a little bit out of it. So the doctors checked on him, and at the time we kind of that's all we thought. We thought he just got the wind knocked out of him, but as we've seen with surfacing reports that he's taken a major neck injury.
It doesn't look good.
And
for a 56-year-old man.
Yeah, and that it could possibly be career-threatening. So this may have been Sting's last match he's ever wrestled.
God, how sad would that be? Because
they definitely had to rush to finish, because it ended up after the refs attended to him, or the refs and medical personnel. It ended up going maybe 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes. Most of it just being sitting in a Scorpion Deathlock, or 2 Scorpion Deathlocks.
Yeah, the first one was terrible. It was typical Sting. Although, to be fair, he was quite hurt.
Yeah, he was very out of it,
and had him in it. And then Seth got the ropes, put him in another one, and then Seth rolled it over, and then grabbed him. Did a kind of not even really an actual pin. It was just kind of a counter that he stacked him up, got the 3, and Sting kind of just left.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
Yeah, he slid out of the ring, and then the medical staff just ended up attending to him again while the cameras made sure not to film him. And that's when Sheamus ends up coming out. His music hits. He's running like a bat out of hell towards the ring. He's ready to cash in, and he hits Seth with the brogue immediately, and goes to go give his briefcase to the ref. And
boom!
Who returns none other than Kane.
With the mask.
With the mask.
Another return of masked Kane. This is the 4th time I've seen since 2012 that he's made a return with the mask.
Now, I know a lot of people don't like that with Kane returning, but Kane always holds a little bit of a place in my heart, being my first ever favorite wrestler as a child.
And for whatever reason, it just seems whenever he has the mask on, he suddenly becomes a better wrestler. He suddenly can sell. Maybe it's because you can't see his face, but slacks and wife beater corporate Kane is just the worst wrestler in the company. But masked Kane is still pretty solid at his age. It's weird because it's the same guy. He's just lazy when he's corporate Kane, I guess. I don't know.
Everything that Kane does is kind of sloppy and bad now, but I just love it because he's Kane, and he's just it's always just a childhood thing to me. It's almost like looking at a childhood hero destroying people. Glorious Kane. And so he comes in the rings and he choke slams Seth and Sheamus. Sheamus first, he thought maybe he was helping out Seth, but
Sheamus was like, give him one more, fella. One more, and then Kane just grabbed Sheamus and choke slammed him.
Oh yeah, sorry, I think I said he choke slammed Sheamus first. He choke slammed Seth first.
And then Sheamus came in, one more, fella.
And he
Sheamus
got
didn't
his
even
one
do
more.
anything, and he didn't even fight out of this choke slam. He taunted him too with him in the choke slam hold.
Yeah, Sheamus did get his one more, he
I don't know what they're gonna do with Sheamus in the briefcase.
That was the best option.
That was the best chance for him to cash it in. Now what are they gonna do?
You know what would have been
wait
better?
That much longer. They're gonna put someone big in that title picture by Mania next year.
What would have been a lot better is if he did officially cash in, and then Kane came out during the match to stop the briefcase, because just don't give the belt to Sheamus, please. And then he could still choke slam Seth too, and just be just as awesome.
But then Sheamus would get a title match because he was a DQ.
Yeah, and then we can just have Seth beat him.
I guess.
Yes.
They could also have Sheamus just cash in and lose like really quickly, like on like a small package or something.
That would
make Seth look like that would be Seth's babyface turn.
Yeah, but that would make Sheamus look like a complete loser. That would bury his whole gimmick.
Who cares? Fella. He doesn't even win. He barely ever wins. Like they put him in. They're basically using him as the jobber to the stars right now. Theoretically, I mean, he'll win when he's facing like, I don't know, Jack Swagger, but he's not going to beat Randy Orton.
In forever.
He's not going to beat John Cena. It's just how it is. He's questionable to beat Kane if they wrestle.
Right.
That's the problem. And he's not going to be credible enough of a world champion right now.
And after the choke slams, he then tombstoned Seth, and the show goes off air with Kane's music playing and the red glow in the entire arena. And, I mean, as I said, most people are probably sighing when they see that Kane's returning and that he is closing out the show. But I love it.
I have something to say about that.
What?
So, I understand that it makes storyline sense, and theoretically, Kane versus Seth Rollins won't be a bad match or anything, but I still see it as a negative that once again they're facing a guy who's been Seth is a fresh young champion that they have had in a while, the first 29. One in a while, and they are making him feud with guys whose primes were 15 to 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. It can't be. I understand why they would want to do it because people know who these guys are because they can't make any new stars right now. But I don't know if this is, it is what it is. I guess I'm not going to complain super much about Kane versus Seth, but I just don't feel. I feel like they should be doing something else, like another feud for Seth for the title, not Kane. Like everyone loves Cesaro. If they could build Cesaro enough to have a feud with Seth, just have a feud with. He doesn't have to win the title. Just have him feud for it. That would be a huge step for him to be in that position. Cesaro wasn't even on this pay-per-view.
It would also be a winning situation for the fans.
Yes, because the match would be awesome.
It would be absolutely
There's a lot of awesome... Like, Seth and Dean was great because it was two young guys who had story with each other going after it for the title. Not a part-time guy in there. Nothing. People were upset when Cena got in there because they were tired of seeing Cena in the world title picture. They had this long run of him being out of it, and then he had to come back in for the SummerSlam match, which made Seth Rollins' U.S. title reign was a complete waste of time. He had it for a month.
You mean Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins was the U.S. champ for a month, and lost it right back to Cena. We didn't even talk about that after that match.
Oh right.
Cena's now the U.S. champ again, so hopefully he brings back the Open Challenge. That it provides a nice outlet for debuting or returning superstars, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Seth Rollins and Kane is looking like the feud for the next couple of months.
I won't mind.
I mean, I'm not saying. I just you get my point when I was saying about how it should that they.
I get it.
They have a I think Daniel Bryan did a rant about this, about how they need to focus because WrestleMania next year. Theoretically, the three biggest matches are looking like. I mean, they're probably. It was going to be Lesnar Taker, but they probably won't do that.
And no more Taker.
But it's looking
Sting.
like Rock Triple H. Yeah, it was going to be like Rock Triple H Taker Sting, and then Lesnar versus like what if they did Lesnar versus Austin, theoretically. Like that would be 3 matches involving 6 guys who aren't there on an every week basis, and you're just throwing your whole roster under the bus.
Part-time Mania.
That's what it's going to be next year. Hopefully, it's not the case. We'll see. Hopefully, they can call up some of these NXT guys in the next few months and get them going on a path to Mania, and build the show around. Like have a young, unpredictable Royal Rumble winner this year. That's what we need.
I don't know.
Something different.
That would be great, but I don't know if that's going to happen with having only one major title.
Well, I mean, Kevin Owens could win the Rumble this year.
Maybe.
I mean, it's looking like it'd probably be either someone from the Shield or Kevin Owens, or you can never rule out John Cena winning the Royal Rumble.
Nope, never can.
Anyway, we'll probably talk about this another time. So yeah, that's it.
All right. So that will conclude our review of Night of Champions 2015. Thanks for coming along for the first ever J&B Wrestling podcast. Thank you, everybody. See you guys next time.